was a second lever. The second lever was technology. Now, what does it mean to leverage technology? Well, for example, I have a website for my business and it operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if I want to create more money from the website, I simply have to do more marketing, and the website will also do more selling. I can do more marketing through pay-per-click and through various other marketing methods of using technology like Google and everything else to drive traffic to the website, to create leads, and then ultimately, then it goes back to people. I have somebody who will sell the leads and will generate sales, and then I have an operations team. And so the people and the technology sort of fit together, but technology is a separate lever all in itself, and that lever all by itself could also make you a wealthy person. If you know how to use technology and you know how to leverage your time, energy, and knowledge through technology, and there's some very, very smart people who know how to simply just use technology. They don't even want to work with anybody else. They say, you know what, leave me to my technology and I will make a living for myself, or I will be very, very successful. Just ask Bill Gates. Now, the third lever is systems, and systems can apply to both people and technology, as well as in general the way you use your time. Now, a clever way that I've heard of systems being used in the form of an acronym is saving, the S, you, time, energy, and money. That's the acronym for system. So saving you time, energy, and money is a way to think about a system. Now that is a lever that's going to create a mechanical advantage or more power in your life. Now let's talk specifics. How can you create a system in your life that's going to save you time, energy, and money so that you're going to have more power in your life? I use a simple system for doing this, and here's how. Start with your repetitive problems or tasks. Think of anything that you have to do more than once. Any repetitive problem or task, anything that recurs more than once, think about it for a minute. And now we're going to come up with a simple system for that, and so you can understand how a system works. Are you ready? Here we go. If blank, whatever it is that is the recurring problem, then why? Solution. Here's what I mean. So if blank, let's just say the phone rings. Common problem, right, in a company, but it's not really a problem, it's a challenge. So if the phone rings, then we will pick up the phone and say this. This is our script for 20 seconds or whatever. Now, it may seem really, really simplistic what I'm saying here, but basically imagine if a company did not have a system for answering the phone. If the phone rings, then we run around and do a million different things every single time the phone rings. No, to create consistency, a company has to build in a system, and once they have a system, they can then look at it and continue to tweak it and refine it, but ultimately they'll come up with the best system. They'll come up with the best way to answer the phone. They'll come up with the best way to handle a new client that comes on board. They'll come up with the best way to handle a recurring client problem or customer problem. So they'll come up with the best way to handle the situation every time, and they'll be able to share that with other people in the organization. And if somebody leaves the organization, they'll have a system around that role that they'll be able to put somebody else into, so they'll just plug right in and they know exactly what they need to do. So the if-then is really the most fundamental and simplest way to describe a system. Now, you can also use people and technology for running the system, like I just described. You have an if-then procedure, and depending on how complex a task is, whatever it is that you're doing in your life that might be recurring, no matter how complex it is, you may just have a bunch of if-thens. If this, then this. If this, then this. And try to think in terms of, all right, let's say you had 100 different problems that come up or could come up, or 1,000. Just come up and follow the 80-20 principle, which is 20% of the tasks or problems are going to make up 80% of the use of your resources, time, energy, and money. So if you could just focus on the top 20% and come up with the 80% that you're going to be able to save because you've come up with an if-then scenario for the top 20% of the recurring tasks or problems that you have in your life, imagine how much you're going to save in time, energy, and money. Those are the three levers: people, technology, and systems. This is the Full Potential Show, your #1 non-boring source for personal development. I want you to think about ways that you can leverage people, technology, and just for now, because it's not going to cost any money for you to do this, think of areas in your own life right now, whether you're self-employed or even if you're working a job currently, what are some if-then scenarios that you can come up with that is going to save you or your company time, energy, and money? Ultimately, the goal should be to get to a point where you are putting in a little amount of effort for a lot of return, and then if you choose, you can continue to put more effort in or more resources in for even greater returns, and that is going to create greater wealth in your life. Again, this is the Full Potential Show. I'm James Rick, and this is your #1 non-boring source for personal development. We'll see you on the next episode where I'm not sure what we're going to do. I think we have some interviews on how to live your full potential. So stay tuned, stick with us, subscribe to the show, and I'll see you next time here at Full Potential.